crypto. We can't let anybody else find out who we are. My eyes are up here. I personally would not advise that strategy. So, yeah. Bugs Bunny or Tweety Bird, how to make money in crypto.
Oh, you're killing me.
Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the people's channel. Home of the BitSquad, largest and greatest crypto community in all of the interwebs. As long as we get our TikTok back. No channel works harder to keep you in the know about crypto. My name is Ben. We come to you live every single day at 11:31 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is Wednesday. It is no longer Tuesday. Today is February 23rd, Wednesday. 73 degrees here in the BitBoy Crypto Studio. A little warm for a flannel here, 73 degrees. Wearing more of my Tom McDonald merch. He gave us a bunch of merch.
Oh, look at that.
Hangover. That's his little crew there, Hangover Gang.
Hangover?
I don't have hangovers.
Yeah.
I don't drink, but Hangover Gang. Hog. It's the acronym. We love Tom McDonald. You guys go check out his merch. He just put out a new album. Anyways, point is, crypto, am I right? Like, Bitcoin's back today, right? All of a sudden today, we are ready to go back to the moon, correct? Is that what's happening?
I would say we're always ready to go to the moon.
You think so?
Just
We're
doesn't always
ready.
feel like it.
Some analysts saying 38,000 was the bottom.
Really?
That's what some people are saying. Mayor multiple chart revealing 37,000. Always a great accumulation zone for Bitcoin. Look, we will continue to warn you that there's a great potential for us to go down. We love days like this where things look up. And I tell you, I would love to be, we haven't made like a real strong stance. I was saying we're definitely, it's yesterday, the day before, was definitely starting to feel very, very, very much like a bear market. But I will keep saying, until we go below 28,500, we can't technically say it is for sure a bear market. If we were to go below that, and then we look at the chart in retrospect in 2 years from now, then we would say the bear market, even though there, have been some higher lows, we would still say the bear market started on November 11th. Like, that's what we will say in the future if we don't make another all-time high in the next, 1 year or so. If we were doing the next year, it's going to break the traditional Bitcoin cycles, but they're still going to continue to have an influence on the market. So we will continue to talk about them. But days like today, and when you look at, the Chart Crypto Liver showed the other day, where, you look at what happened on the day of invasions and then what happens afterwards for the markets, it's almost always bullish, even though when these happen, it's extremely bearish. So we'll be looking at what's going on with, Russia and Ukraine slightly, how it's affecting the Bitcoin price. We will be taking a look at China releasing their rules for censorship on Russian coverage on accident. So the guy had one job. Now he probably has one hand.
Yeah.
So
if he's lucky.
Yeah, that's best possible scenario. So look, we're certainly hopeful, hopefully we'll get going back in the right direction. We want blockchain backer to be right about altcoin season. We want Benjamin Cowan to be right about extended cycles. We want that, but we want to keep you guys with a balanced perspective. We're not CNN and we're not Fox News here. Okay, so we're not going to take one viewpoint and shove that down your throat. We're going to try to give you a much more well-rounded picture of people's opinions and our opinions as well on where crypto is going. So people are saying it's still trending down. Good day today, but overall we're definitely in a downtrend. So we'll take a look at something I said yesterday about Putin. Somebody else said the same thing. So I got attacked in the chat, apparently, my wife said. She was watching the chat pretty good over what I said about Putin wanting to rebuild the USSR, but there's another pretty popular guy who put out the same theory yesterday. So we'll take a look at that. Putin is very interesting. Patrick Goal over there on YouTube. So, all right, let's go ahead and move on here. Get started with Market Watch. We've got quite a few things to cover in Market Watch. So, TJ, we'll have, after we do Coin Market Cap, we got some stories I'll be covering after that still fit within this. 1.45 million subscribers here on YouTube. 816.3 thousand followers here on Twitter. Well, we'll be taking a look at some tweets that I put out, some other tweets from some folks here, today. Don't forget to follow us there. 438,000 on Insta. This is my personal one. I added a new picture yesterday, 6109. Look at this picture. Look how cute. Look how cute. Look at my wife posing with the dog.
Yep.
I mean, does Odie Wilbert get any more cute than this? How ugly is this dog? This is the ugliest dog that has ever existed. But for some reason, I can't stop staring into its beautiful eyes.
Yeah.
So there we go. See, that's the kind of content you get on Dad Jokes for the Win. And always be careful, of course. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's right.
I don't
I've
think
already
that's-
guessed they're missing a comment. There it went. Okay. Look at that, guys. Big pump on the market. We just went from $140 billion in market cap to 1.7 trillion. And look at this giant volume, $11 billion.
Wow.
Coin market cap's a little quirky right now. Oh, they finally removed all of the wash trading in crypto. Now we're at 11 billion in volume. 1.75 trillion. I think that's up a little bit from yesterday. I think we were at 1.67 yesterday, maybe somewhere around there. This number's totally wrong. I don't know what that number should be. Let's check out CoinGecko, see what they say it is. Theirs is usually about 10% higher than coin market cap. Their volume coming in 78 billion. So, probably 69, 70 billion on coin market cap. That's what that number should be. 41.8% dominance, 18.4 for Ethereum. And I was asked to explain what a Paraguay is. Well, Paraguay is a country.
I was going to say.
And they, at one time, were looking at getting into crypto the same way that El Salvador is into Bitcoin. I'm not sure where that stands, but we started making this joke because a gas fee, the way you measure a gas fee is a gwei. Now, technically, each, like a Satoshi, do you know what a Satoshi is called in Ethereum?
A Satoshi is called in Ethereum. I did. Yeah, I can't think of. I thought it's not Gwei.
It's a wei.
Wei.
W-E-I.
W-E-I.
And so
Gas,
for
W-E-I.
each kind of I think for each decimal, it's got a different name. And so for whatever, gas fees are measured in gwei. It's a certain number of wei. And so anyways, we started making this joke. Instead of saying gwei, we started calling it Paraguays. So if you show the number here, it's 124. I split the number in half and I call it a right here we have 62 Paraguays. See, it's 124 gwei.
Basically, it was
62 Paraguay. It's a dad joke.
It was a dad joke that went on for a long time.
Yeah. Yesterday, BitBoy was bearish. Today's bullish. Yeah. When you look at, we're still not bullish. I don't want you to be confused on that. I still believe most likely we're heading down, but we're hopeful that it could go up because I want your portfolios to look green.
Yeah. And I'm pretty
guys,
sure yesterday we said we're about 50-50.
Yeah.
Which would be consistent with that statement.
I said maybe I moved more 45 or more, a little more increase. Maybe I said 75-25 yesterday, actually, again. The downward momentum has been super strong and we're not getting back over resistant levels. So that's the thing is for people, for low IQ people that don't have a firm grasp on crypto, they tend to only be able to group things into two categories. Like either we are bullish every time frame, we're bullish right now, or either we are bearish and prices are going down for sure. That's not how crypto works. That's why it drives me crazy. Like people make fun of Carl, is it going up or going down? Yeah, that's what it's going to do. It's going to go up or down. If it goes above a certain resistance, then it will go up. If it doesn't get above that resistance and it goes below support, then it will go down further. And that's what he's always saying. And people are too dumb to understand what he's saying, unfortunately. So if you think you have to group into absolute bearish or absolute bullish, then you don't really understand how crypto works. And especially because when you get to the most bearish possibility, that's actually when the bull market will start, right? So there's a very thin line in between these as well. So I think what it comes down to, someone says it stands for giveaway. Somebody says when Jeb. I talked to Jeb. He told me he had some stuff going on. Some good stuff, some exciting stuff. I don't know if he's talked about it on his channel, so I'm not going to reveal it. But he said he just got busy. He's going to come back on the show at some point. So I talked to Jeb. I texted him. So
yeah.
No bad blood between me and Jeb. We love each other for sure. So
yeah.
He just hasn't been on around the blockchain a while, but he'll be coming back on at some point.
Yeah, it's funny. They actually asked me at C12 how we heard about it, how we got there, and
Yeah,
I was like,
from
"How
Jeb.
did we?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, it was Crypto Jeb." Yeah, so we're big fans of, Jeb. Still haven't met him in person yet, but
Yeah, never met him for
it's
sure.
on the list.
We love our dumb viewers. That's what John Connor says. That's
Oh
pretty funny.
gosh.
Look, it drives me crazy when people have questions, we understand. But when people act holier than thou and like they know the markets, way better than YouTubers and all this stuff, why are you in our chats? Like, it's because you don't, because you're looking for information. So when people come out and they make like really blanket statements like that, unfortunately, it makes them look extremely dumb and extremely low IQ, and they're just trying to rile people up and get at a point that doesn't really make sense. Those are people that lose. We talked about this before. Those are people that lose in this market, not long term, because they won't be in this market for long term because they can't grasp simple trading concepts, which is one of our, subtitles from our BitBoy investing philosophies. Tonight, actually, at 9, we're gonna have a video about what I think top 3 coins bear market are. No surprises here. Things I've talked about a good bit. Newer things that have come into my long term hold portfolio. And then tomorrow we'll be getting back on the BitBoy investing philosophies. We're also filming some of our BitBoy specials here in the next couple of days, which is exciting. Bitcoin right now coming in at $38,679, still down 11% for the week. Ethereum down just a shade more, 11.65% for the week, but up 4.29%, $2,700. BNB coming in at $380. See that shout out from South Carolina. I think I'm going to be in Greenville, it looks like, for a gaming conference possibly. And I think June. I think it's June I'll be there. So June or July. So be on the lookout for that if you live in South Carolina. XRP 72 cents. Thank God it's up from 69 cents. Card 69 cent is a place where a lot of people bought in at. That's a very important number. Cardano at 93 cents, looking upwards. Crypto Coin Ventures was saying if it gets back, Dan was saying, I think if it gets back over $1, that would be really big for the weekly close. So something to watch there. Solana up 6.8%. Terra Luna crushing it right now, up 7% for the week. One of the few gainers for the week. We'll look at that here in a little bit. Avalanche at $80. Dogecoin, Polkadot, Shiba. Shiba just really, having a hard time getting going again. Crypto.com down, Polygon down, but up for the day. Pretty good stuff. Then we look, analysts say Bitcoin bottom is in. As Bitcoin bounces back to $38,000. I'm not willing to say that at this point. I certainly hope that we will be able to say it at some point. I want 33K to be the local bottom. I want 29.5 to be the bottom for this cycle. We just can't guarantee that that's going to happen at this point. And I'm not willing to put my neck out like I did before and get chopped. So, because I honestly don't have a strong opinion. I do not have a super strong opinion about where Bitcoin is going right now. The ongoing tensions between Russia and Ukraine continue to be the dominant news. Data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro, which, look, y'all know how I feel about Cointelegraph. We talk about them a lot. Their Markets Pro, from all I look at it, looks like it's actually a pretty good service. We don't use it. We don't promote it. But, look, you got to pay the piper sometimes. From what I understand, the Cointelegraph Markets Pro is pretty good. Something, we're going to be looking at when we get into our research tools. Bitcoin's trade between 36 and 38, or 36.3 and 38.3. A swirl of positive and negative developments that mix signals to trader who base their trading activity on headlines, which headlines are often a lagging indicator. So I don't think that's necessarily a great thing to do, but maybe it's a strategy that works for some.
They're also easy to manipulate. Like, I don't like what they did yesterday with one of the stories had a volume from a 24-hour period, and it was comparing chains, and it was, you can create those headlines over very specific points in time to create the narrative you need.
Yeah. So we're asking for an XRP show. February 28th will be an XRP show. That's when we got John Deaton and Jeremy Hogan on. So Shannon, I think it's July, actually. I think it's July, Shannon. So, hopefully you'll be able to come. Love to meet you. Cyclical nature of BTC price movements was touched upon by crypto analyst and pseudonymous Twitter user Rect Capital, who has really made some good calls from what I've seen. Who posted the following chart showing that Bitcoin is currently retesting the major support and resistance level at 38,000. Whenever BTC would break beyond the red 38K resistance area, it will pull back into this region for a retest attempt before further upside. Green circles show this retest is now in progress. And so you guys can see every time so far it's retested this level, it's gone back up. And so, it looks like, maybe, this is the weekly chart. So we'll have to see what happens with the weekly here, but we might get another retest. But look, these indicators always work until they don't. These were certainly on the ways to an all-time high, on the way to a new all-time high. We've yet to see if it retests and goes back up. It's retested the support line for sure here, but the resistance, the top of the resistance box here, it hasn't really retested yet. And so we'll have to see what happens. But certainly, look, we're crossing our fingers, guys. We are certainly crossing our fingers. It's like New York Giants in the Super Bowl in 1990 or 1991. They lost their star quarterback. Phil Simms wasn't even playing. Jeff Hostetler was their quarterback. You're playing the Bills. They were really, really good. Had a great offense. You don't feel like they're going to win. They got their backup quarterback in, but you're still crossing your fingers. They're going to win, and they did win. Because the Bills missed a field goal. Sorry, Bills fans. That was very painful for you guys. I'm sure closest to win a Super Bowl they came.
Yeah.
But I think that we're crossing our fingers. We're hopeful. To me, a lot of the signs are still pointing down. We hope that will change. I'll tell you what. If we get a really big change in the, Russian narrative, the Russian-Ukraine narrative, that could be something. Keep this in mind, guys. We still have this rate hike coming in the middle of March. Until that changes, if this narrative about Russia were to change that narrative and we don't get a rate hike, or if we get the rate hike at the same time there's an invasion, we might get a really big drop, and then it could go back up. But I just, right now, things are feeling very similar to 2018. You agree with that, right, TJ?
Yeah, for sure.
Very similar. Dead set similar to 2018 at this point.
Right.
So we saw what happened then. Doesn't mean it's going to happen for sure now. But.
Well, and it feels very similar to people grasping at narratives that, like, maybe this will be what pushes us up. And sometimes it does in the short term, but, it does feel very similar, like a slow drawdown, slow, painful.
It's the lukewarm boil.
Yeah. We were just like we were talking about. We were watching, 50 was it. And then it was like we were happy to see 48, then 47, then 45. Then we started hanging around the low 40s. Then we were happy, we dip below. If we could get back up to 40, like, oh, great, 40, 42. Now 39 looks nice. It's just slow boil. Also,
go ahead.
I was going to say, smash the likes, guys. I saw people were asking for BC Backer. We're going to have him on once a month. If you're in the XRP army and you're excited for what's coming up, make sure to smash those likes. We only have about 900 right now. Yeah, slow start today.
We got Daniel from Chart Champions coming on pretty soon. We got Carl coming on later this week on the live stream. So we got a lot of, trying to give you guys a wide perspective. Of course, we do that for, around the blockchain as well.
Absolutely.
We have this here also. This is from Joe. Were you going to say something, TJ?
No, I just said absolutely.
Joe Howell Miles, no idea who this is. He's the pseudonymous Twitter user Plan C. Oh, this is a follow-up response to that. This guy says no need to worry above 30,000. And guys, that's 100% accurate. Like, until we go below 28.5, actually, there's no reason to really believe it's definitely going down. Once that gets breached, then we don't really have anything to grasp at to say, okay, we've got this level of support. There's certainly some levels of support down there, but definitely want to reiterate this. We're not willing to say 100% we're in a bear market until we get below that number. Also, the sentiment indicating that the end is near. But remember this, we've looked at so many on-chain analytics, address analytics. We're going to look at another indicator in a second that seem to indicate the end of the dump is near and we should be going back up. But this was the same thing in 2018. You had so many of these indicators that kept the hopium going, and you just slowly boiled all the way down to 3,200. The Mare multiple is what I was talking about. It returns to July 2021 levels, the bottom of the last dump, and fresh sign 37K is a long-term buy. Here's the actual Mare multiple chart here, and you guys can see. Let's see that's just a very, very tiny amount there. We look back here to July, we're right back kind of basically at those numbers. This is where the actual value of Bitcoin should be, okay? So the actual value of Bitcoin, according to Trace Mayer and his indicator, is 37,657. So actually right now we're slightly above that. So it did get all the way down to 32, back in July, which was the low. So we're the lowest we've been since then. Just on a side note here, interesting before we move on to Bitcoin chart, how price skyrocketed last year. Two regions saw the biggest increases. Home prices rose pretty significantly. Strongest in the South and the Southeast, up over 25%. I think we've seen that in housing prices over here.
Absolutely.
My house value is almost doubled.
Yeah. And you've been there
a
2
year and a
years?
half.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, absolutely. Phoenix, Tampa, and Miami, pretty significant stuff. We just got to keep a watch on the housing market stuff because I think it is very fascinating. The real estate people are just telling you that it's just going to keep going up forever.
Yeah.
So, can you ban Satoshi Swap from the chat? Did you do that yet? Can somebody ban that as a word? Satoshi Swap, don't buy it. There you go. There's my opinion on it.
It is interesting with the real estate market. Robert Kiyosaki, the rich dad, or Kiyosaki, the rich dad, poor dad, big. His whole thing is Bitcoin, real estate, gold and silver. My background is in real estate, and it was one of the best store of values to me before Bitcoin. Obviously gold's a big one, but real estate, it's another fairly hard asset. You could argue you can build up and air rights, so you can. But generally, they don't make any more land. So as we're seeing basically global inflation across the board, it's not really surprising to see one of the other hard assets or hard money like assets go up a lot. And that's why I would say the majority of the profits we've taken from our portfolio has been in real estate. And we're up pretty good on that stuff too.
Absolutely. Something that, I talked about in a video back in January 2020, I think, or maybe it was February. Talked about like, hey, after this bull run, what will we be doing with money that we make during the bull run? And one of those big plays was real estate.
January 2020 or 2021?
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2020. It was either January or February 2020. Basically, when the bull run was just about to kick off, because it started off, technically people would say in May or in March. When the pandemic crash occurred, that bottom was the bottom for the local bottom for things to go up. I talked about, when big investors make money, that's what they do. They diversify, they move into other stuff. Did exactly what I said we were going to do. So it's definitely worked out very well. All right, looking at the Bitcoin price, we're not going to look at it too much. Wait, is today Wednesday? Oh, you coming on, Frank? Come on, Frank.
Yeah, there you go.
Come on, Frankie.
Frankie Candles.
What's going on, everybody? I do have did bring my sauce with me today.
Getting saucy.
Yeah, we're getting saucy today. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to drink some of this tonight on my stream. We have something called the Wheel of Pain and Pleasure. Typically pain for me, pleasure for the viewers. And I got to drink a little bit of that sauce. Hopefully my mom is not watching this.
3 cheese. Is it thick? Does it have chunky onions or tomatoes in here?
I don't know. If my mom saw me holding jarred sauce, it wouldn't be good. So
11 cards, man. I might come on the show and take a sip with you, man. It looks pretty good.
Let's do it.
They got chunky tomatoes, man.
Guys, today we got a lot to talk about. I would agree with you, Ben. It is kind of feeling similar to 2017, 2018. We're going to talk about why I think that. But that little pump, guys, put it in chat if you guys are trading at all and you made some profit on that little bounce.
Fuzzy Crypto says Ben loves Frank's special sauce. That's pretty funny.
He's got a Pluto Alliance avatar as well.
Yeah, how about that?
So we're going to look at why I do agree with this. This is kind of feeling like 2017, 2018. But that little pump, guys, put it in chat if you made some profit on that. I was talking about this on my stream last night as we were coming down to this golden pocket area. So let's actually start on the 12-hour, right? I'm going to give you guys the bullish stuff first, and then we'll move on to a little bit of the bearish stuff.
Can you adjust your chart there a little bit for this?
Yeah.
Bring that bottom up.
Bring that bottom up. Here we go.
Frank knows how to move that bottom.
Oh,
Look at him.
There you go.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Okay, so here we are on the 12-hour. We did get a green dot, right, with the VWAP crossing over the 0 line. As we were coming down to the golden pocket, right? So I was saying on the stream last night, I was saying this might be a good time to look for a nice little scalp long, right? Nothing crazy because, like Ben was saying, not feeling quite bullish yet, but was able to get a nice little scalp long off of that at about 35% profit. Closed it out this morning, right around this resistance line right here.
So you don't think it's going above 39K?
So I'm not saying it won't go above 39K, but I was just pulling profit there because I was expecting a bounce. I do like to lock in profits when I have them. You never want to. I don't like holding trades too long. Most of for the most part, I do scalp a lot, right? So very short term trades. I like to get in, grab that bag, and jump out. But shout out to anybody on the stream that saw us talking about that little golden pocket bounce last night.
Nice.
So yeah, so that was a little bullish. 12-hour doesn't look horrible. We are in the green. VWAP is over the 0 line. Let's take a look at 18-hour coming up with the VWAP also in the green with money flow. Now, so let's go. Let's come over to the weekly, right? At this point, guys, I mean, the weekly is not looking
not great.
It doesn't really look good right now. Unfortunately, that's not to say, we do have the VWAP crossing back down.
Can you do let's do something, Frank. Can we do something? Trail Grinder says I'm sitting over here intimidating you off camera. It's actually true. I am staring at him intently, right in his eyes.
Dead into my eyes.
Dead into his eyes. It's awkward with us both on screen at the same time. But anyways, can we go to the chart and can we actually go back to the end of the relief rally from 2018? I think it was in January, and look and see, like, is the VWAP similar? Like, what is similar if we go back and look at the big relief rally that occurred?
Yeah, so that is actually kind of what I wanted to look at.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Check
This was not planned, guys. This was not planned.
TV for your perspective there, Frank, so you can see the
Okay.
chart. Yeah.
Let me just unlock this. Okay. So what I wanted to show you guys was, as you can see, right here we have the green money flow wave curving down pretty aggressively. Looks like it wants to cross over into the red. And if you do see, the last time that looks very similar to that is right here in 2017, 2018 at the top. You see money flow coming down, and this does look very, very similar.
And notice when you look at the May and July dump, you don't see that.
Yeah, exactly. So you could see for the May and summer dump here, we were still thick in the green. Right now that we see this money flow coming out.
Can you explain exactly what the money flow is?
Yeah, it essentially just shows you money flowing in and out of the asset, right? So when you see the wave coming in, you can see that money is slowly flowing in into the asset. And we did come down a little aggressively during the May and summer dump here, but as you can see, you could come back up. But just generally, let me grab the brush tool real quick. Just generally, as a whole, we are just generally coming down. And at this point, we are pretty close to crossing the 0 line.
It was in a bearish divergence, in a sense.
Yes.
Even when prices were going up in November, it was in a bearish divergence.
Yeah, you can see that, where you have momentum making a lower high as price did make a higher high as we hit that 69K. So yeah, it is looking very similar to the the beginning of the bear market in 2017, 2018. So obviously, definitely not to be ignored. And then you see, as we came down into the red, we hit the the pits of the bear market.
We need a Hail Mary at this point.
Yeah. So
we need a Hail Mary.
I'm not ready to call bear market just yet.
Oh, am I on the screen now?
Yes,
Did you show me on the screen? I see the top of my head. We need a Hail Mary.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Not ready to call bear market just yet. 35,000, 35,500 is probably an area that I would really, really like to hold. If we do break that. Also, just real quick, on the 3-day, we did mention this, I believe. I know I talk about it on my stream, but I think I did mention it on Monday. We do have this. Let me just stretch it out a little bit here. We do have this blood diamond on the 3-day. The last time that happened was at the beginning of the May dump. Brought us down about 50%. And, I already measured it. I'm not going to measure it right here. But if you come down 50% from this blood diamond, it does bring you, coincidentally, right down to around that $20,000 area, which would be just about the the peak of the last cycle, which is basically where I would be looking to bottom out, worst case scenario. So it would make sense for it to bring us down there. Nothing plays out 100% of the time. We could see, some crazy Hail Mary, happen. Bitcoin likes to surprise us, right? So nothing's out of the cards, but, I would agree with the, not ready to be full-blown bullish yet. You don't want to ignore all these very bearish signals.
Yep. Awesome, Frank. Great
All right.
job.
Thank you, guys. I'm going to take my sauce and bring it back and go drink it backstage.
There you go.
Bing bong.
Get that sauce.
Bing bong. Byron. 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 Somebody said, "Who's Byron?"
I met with a Byron here yesterday.
We did actually.
It's
My
squad
stepdad's
member
name
in
is Byron,
Nackworth.
actually. So Fuzzy Crypto says he's selling his wife to buy more BTC if we go below 24K. Well, rip. Okay.
Sucks to be
Candle Crew, is that what they call his people? We
The
going with Candle Crew? Candle Crew or Candle Mafia? He's a little soprano-ish.
I kind of like the Candle Mafia.
I like Candle Mafia, I gotta say.
I was thinking the other night we need to get him a candelabra with a bunch of green and red candles in it.
Yeah.
For like a set for his prop would be good.
He should. He should. Isn't that a movie about, what's the guy's name? Liberace? Isn't that like the Matt Damon movie? Isn't he Liberace in that movie?
And what?
It's a movie.
It's
called
Candelabra?
Candelabra. I've never seen it, but yeah, Liberace. That guy was insane. They had somewhere in Vegas. I saw his like car is like diamond plated car. Like that. Must be nice. Must be nice. Not to be Liberace. Yeah, he's dead. So, all right. Layer 1 bounced back from Russia-Ukraine dip. So the crypto markets rallied 5.1% over the last 24 hours, shaking off Russian invasion fears. Crypto market is up 5.1% today as investors appear to be shaking off fears of potential Russia-Ukraine conflict. Layer 1 coins have led with recovery, with Cadena, Terra, and Avalanche posting double-digit gains in response to Putin's threats. Several countries, including the U.S., UK, France, and Japan, have announced sanctions, including also, by the way, here it is. You cannot
Good Lord.
make this up. Trudeau says Canada will stand against authoritarianism, announces sanctions against Russia. And old Peter McCormick, he said, who's going to tell him? That's a great tweet. That's a very high-quality, great tweet. We love that, Peter. I like Peter. He's good.
Peter, he is good at Twitter.
Yeah,
I love
Peter.
Good sense of humor.
He's one of the few maxis that I like. There's like 4. Gary Leland's one I like.
Yeah, he's one of the good ones.
Yeah. Markets appear to have interpreted the latest geopolitical developments are less worrying than previously expected. Meanwhile, the EMOX, a stock market index tracking top 50 largest Russian companies, has recouped most of its losses. Layer 1 coins appear to be leading the crypto recovery. The top 2 crypto assets, Bitcoin and Ethereum, have both jumped today. Several new Layer 1 coins are outperforming, but that's it. Are we seeing the blockchain backer altcoin season bonanza final hurrah right now? I don't know. What I would tell you this. If we do see an altcoin season, I would make the argument that it will, like the top of Bitcoin, be very disappointing and not approach numbers we previously expected, even if it is a parabolic altcoin season. We would probably get back close to the highs that we saw in November, maybe early summer for some of the coin, or, spring, some of the coins. I don't think we're going to see Solana go to $1,000. I don't think we're going to see, XRP go to, $10. Now XRP obviously having more to do with the lawsuit, which we'll talk about later, but just using that for an example, I don't think we're going to see Cardano going to $10 to $12. I don't think we're going to see that if we do see an altcoin season. But it is interesting. Yesterday, he said, blockchain backer said that his theory was at an inflection point. And today we get this big move for all these layer 1s. Definitely very, very interesting stuff. So we'll see what happens. Would nice to be able to get to all-time highs again so we can sell the tops. That would be nice. Yeah. Here we have Ben Mesrick. We got Ben Armstrong retweeting Ben Mesrick. Ben Mesrick said something that I said yesterday on the stream, and a lot of people didn't like. He had this whole thread about having spent a year researching Putin and the oligarchs for my book, Once Upon a Time in Russia. I've always been concerned about his endgame. Photo of his recent summit reminded me of the opening scene of his book. When he was first put in power by the oligarchs, he invited them to a dinner in one of Stalin's old homes. He sat these dozen or so billionaires down at a table, and behind them, the walls were pockmarked. What a word. He's a writer. He's got all those words. With bullet holes where Stalin had lined up people and had them shot. Long and short of it is, eventually these oligarchs worked for Putin, not the other way around, even though they put him in. But he says that Putin always believed that Russia's greatest mistake was allowing the Soviet Union to break up. He always held as his dream a reunification of the Russian Empire and a rewriting of the history that led to the current state. The world should not underestimate Putin. He has vision, and as he gets older, as he approaches his own end game, he will endeavor to make that vision reality. Everyone is the hero of the movie of their own life. For Putin, I believe the movie ends with the writing of what he perceived to be the biggest mistake of the last century. What that means for the rest of the world, I guess we're beginning to find out. So there you go. Somebody else reiterating a lot of the stuff that I was saying yesterday. I'm sure he didn't watch what I said, but I'm just saying he's a wild card. Don't continue to believe that he's, going to follow some kind of predictable path. We don't know, but I do think that that is something. Putin actually said what yesterday? What did he actually say yesterday? Speaking of China and Russia, real quick, I want to put this story in here, not really that relevant to crypto, but it is in censorship. A Chinese news outlet accidentally leaked its own censorship instructions on Russia-Ukraine coverage. He had one job, right? He had one job. In the Weibo post, Horizon News stated that any content painting Russia unfavorably would not be published. The same applied to any pro-Western framing. How about that? Later on Tuesday, the post was deleted. Simply put, China has to back Russia up with emotional and moral support while refraining from treading on the toes of the U.S. and European Union, but they will not be posting any pro-Western content. So if you needed proof that China, which, by the way, if you didn't know this, all media in China is state-owned, that Russia and China are not working together, then this right here really shows you the strength between those two countries. So, what does that have to do with crypto? Not much, but, definitely felt like it was something that I thought was worthy of saying here. So, ETH to 10K. Here we go. I mean, it feels very anticlimactic after, Frank showing that money flow and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I certainly wish that this happens. Ethereum to 10K. Classic bullish reversal pattern hits a potential ETH price rally. The native token could trade above $10,000 in the coming weeks. Hey, now listen, altcoin season, maybe. I would be more prone to think this could happen than Bitcoin to 100K. If that says. Putin said I look like Guy Fieri. No, I do not look like. Maybe if I was blonde.
Apparently it's Fieri.
I know it's Fieri, but I just have a hard time saying Fieri.
I saw a funny thing.
I know it's Fieri. I know that to be unequivocally true, but
Yeah.
I still, when I read it, I'm going to sound so pretentious and stupid saying Fieri when it's spelled Fieri.
You know what's even more pretentious and stupid? I was watching a Hot Ones, and I think it was Paul Rudd was on there.
Yeah.
And he said Guy Fieri, and then the host said, "Oh, it's actually Guy Fieri. He was on here, and he corrected me."
Yeah.
And Paul Rudd's response was like, "What a douche!" It was perfect.
Paul Rudd's funny.
Yeah, he is.
Two extremely underrated movies. I Love You, Man.
Yeah.
And Role Models.
So
Great movies.
Adam, who does our real estate stuff, he also thought I Love You, Man was very underrated. Like him and his wife thought it was hilarious.
Jobin?
And he said it reminded him of me so much because I used to do real estate, and he's a real estate guy in that movie. It's just funny.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. You're my Jobin.
Jobin.
You're my Jobin.
Slapping the bass.
Slapping the bass. Yeah, that's a good one. Role Model's also a really good. Ascending triangles are bullish continuation setups that appear during an uptrend. Analysts confirm their presence after the price rises upward inside a rising right angle triangle structure, thus forming a sequence of lower highs on the trend line with resistance in place as the upper one, or at the upper one. As the pattern develops, volumes typically drop. So far, Ether has been forming a similar upside pattern on its weekly chart. In detail, the triangle's lower trend line has been acting as an accumulation range since the beginning of 2021, with high selling pressure at the upper trend line. A basic tenet of ascending triangle patterns is they precede a significant price rally, but is the maximum distance between the upper and lower trend line when measured from the breakout level, yada, yada, yada. Applying the same characteristics to each ascending channel, either can undergo a decisive breakout towards 10K. On other time frames, or on higher time frames, another technical pattern paints a bullish target of 4K, which sounds probably a little more realistic at the current second, to be honest with you. Wolf, an independent market analyst, also anticipate Ether to rebound in the coming sessions, followed by an extended recovery move owing to a potential inverse head and shoulders pattern. Could this be an ETH price bull trap? I mean, definitely. I mean, there's no question about it. It certainly could be. I think when it comes to Ethereum and when it comes to looking at price action here and looking at what could potentially happen, I got to go back to Bitcoin here. You know, his theory notwithstanding, blockchain backers theory notwithstanding of altcoin season. Bitcoin right now, all of the technicals are pointing towards downward action. All of the news is pointing towards downward action. All of the on-chain fundamentals are pointing towards reversal and uptrend. That's why we're at such a confusing time in crypto. For the most part, these all tend to line up. But we've got technicals and news on one side, extremely negative, and we got on-chain, extremely positive. Of course, when I say on-chain fundamentals, referring to a lot of the indicators, referring to the address numbers, referring to the number of short-term holders, referring to all that, it's extremely bullish and things should be going up. But we saw some of that same stuff in 2018. The crypto community also welcoming Ethereum ZK Sync testnet. So a provider of zero-proof blockchain solutions, ZK Sync, has announced successful deployment of its roll-up protocol on the Ethereum testnet. Last year, they described their vision for a permissionless Turing-complete rollout that allows decentralized applications to be deployed in a low-cost and scalable Layer 2 environment. I certainly love when I'm going on a tour and I get to the end of it. Users will supposedly have a better experience on this network, according to the official announcement by Matter Labs. One of the major issues when utilizing the Ethereum blockchain is its prohibitively high gas fees. I don't know why that word was so hard for me to say. I had to really concentrate hard. As a result, many users and developers have migrated to lower cost solutions. So anyways, long and short of it is this is a new kind of roll up that will basically allow, for more flexibility on the Ethereum network. Crypto is not criminal. Believe it or not. Is this true? U.S. Secret Service launches Crypto Awareness Hub. This is they want to combat the illicit use of digital assets and provide public awareness information. Tide is turning on the way in which law enforcers discuss cryptocurrencies and treat crypto users. The United States Secret Service has launched a cryptocurrency awareness hub featuring a cheesy public service announcement video. The education tool seeks to combat the illicit use of digital assets, as well as provide public awareness information on digital asset security and how to ensure it remains secure.
You trying to play this?
Why is it not? Oh, the volume.
As the nature of
Let's start over.
greed, power, and influence. The motivation behind financial crimes since the days of Billy the Kid and Al Capone. As the nature of crime evolves, so do the tools.
Is that Morgan Freeman?
Used by criminals,
Sounds
desperate
like it.
to stay one step ahead of law enforcement.
That's the knockoff Morgan Freeman.
Unfortunately for them, the U.S. Secret Service has more than a century of experience protecting your money. Behind the shades of the agency's protective legacy, the service has been investigating financial crime since 1865 in spaces like this.
It's from the ISP. The most important thing is completing the blockchain tracing so we can get these victims their funds back.
All over it.
Gone are the days
All
of
over
outlaws
it.
on horseback and gangsters and fedoras.
What
The Secret Service is now the primary agency investigating the illicit use of digital assets,
And we stand ready.
And we stand ready.
and we stand ready to safeguard the next generation of money.
You run that address?
Got it.
By the way,
Woo!
Oh,
That's a doozy right there.
yeah. And Secret Service, by the way, you can put right in there with CIA and NSA for corrupt organizations within the government. Basically, law enforcement outside of the executive branch, outside of the legislative branch. Basically, a law above the law.
Interesting.
Pretty crazy.
I don't know much about the Secret Service.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they protect the president.
That's what everybody.
When will they protect me?
That's all.
When do I
everybody
get my
knows.
own Secret Service agent?
They control the narrative around what they do more tightly than probably both the NSA and the CIA, but they're integral into both of those organizations.
Secret Service. Shh.
They do a lot with controlling propaganda, that sort of stuff, like pushing messages out that they think the American people need
Yeah.
to further their interests.
Learned a lot about the way a lot of that stuff works back when, all of the. It's amazing how much infighting was going on, like when Trump was president. I mean, all the infighting between the NSA and the Secret Service, and this guy's leaking this, and this person's leaking that, and amazing how all that went away, isn't it?
Yeah.
Amazing.
So
now they can focus on crypto. Great job. Now they're not infighting. The U.S. Secret Service Office of Investigations Assistant Director Jeremy Sheridan said the hub focuses on investigating financial crimes. It's not what the hub does. It aims to identify, arrest, and prosecute those engaging in crimes involving digital assets. Nonetheless, it's critical to note that the language and tone used regarding crypto are positive. In what could be a small win for the crypto community, I definitely didn't perceive that as positive.
No.
The industry may finally be shedding its reputation as being haven for cybercrime and illicit activity. Used to be reserved for crypto Silk Road criminals and drug users. That's never been true. Crypto has not been used to be reserved for those people. Certainly a large percentage of the volume at one time was on Silk Road, but not everybody was in crypto. I got in crypto at that time, and I didn't even know what Silk Road was till much later.
Where was that video?
It is on Cointelelie. So we go to Cointelelie. Crypto is not criminal, and you'll find it.
There you go.
Terra Luna outperforming top 10 in gains as crypto market rebounds. We already talked about layer 1 protocols, but specifically touch on this, which is interesting, as they just got news that their founder, Don Ko. I think I'm saying it wrong. What is his name? Is it Ko? It's not his name. Yeah, Do Kwon. That's his name. DOKWON. Do Kwon. Just remember it. Per coin market cap, Terra Luna is up nearly 15%. But the whole point why I brought him up is, he's facing SEC, lawsuit. They just said he was going to have to face it. So it has to do with mirror protocol and, look, synthetic assets you got to be careful with for sure, especially when, Terra Luna is dealing in stable coins as well. So that just came out this week that he's definitely going to face that. They couldn't get it off on a technicality. And now Terra Luna is crushing it. So, go figure. It's up nearly 15% in the last 24 hours at a present price of $57.82. Crypto market is posting a rebounding in the last 24 hours. You can see Terra Luna now in the number 9 spot. We definitely predicted Avalanche would be in a top 10 coin, but I never thought Terra Luna would get in the top 10. Maybe at some point, maybe I changed that. Maybe it has a chance, but it's outperformed my wildest dreams. Luna, the native token of smart contracts blockchain Terra, has outperformed the top 10 cryptos in terms of gains due to investor optimism. Let's see. This is why it's up. They closed a $1 billion private token sale for a decentralized UST. I wonder if this is kind of a move by them, due to the SEC stuff to maybe get around some of their complaints. Luna Foundation Guards, LFG. That's pretty funny. Plan to develop a Bitcoin denominated reserve as an additional layer of security for UST, whose value is fixed 1-to-1 to US dollar. Lines with Luna's recent price improvements. FG also stated that it raised $1 billion in private token sales to add to its Bitcoin reserve. Jump Crypto and Three Arrows Capital were among the investors in the funding round. Now this is interesting because Three Arrows Capital heavily involved in Avalanche before the Avalanche, where it really took off. That worked out.
That actually did.
Apart from that, Terra Luna's token is one of the most talked about cryptocurrencies on the market, despite its lackluster performance. So you see people still love talking about Terra Luna. It's got a lot, which is interesting because I just don't see. I don't know. Do you see a gigantic Terra Luna community and a lot of talk on social media about Terra Luna?
I don't know if I would say gigantic, but I would say solid. I see a solid
for sure.
Terra Luna community,
Yeah.
and it kind of reminds me of the way the Cardano community came up in 2017, 2018, where it's
Yeah.
a very strong, very committed, kind of tech-heavy community, because Terra is a very strong tech project, and it almost reminds me of like a
77 degrees.
HBAR Algo Hedera kind of project that got the base level support it needs more than what those other ones have as far as a community goes.
Yeah. Got
But
really hot in here really quick.
it is warm.
It's 70. It went from 73 to 77 in like 5 minutes.
Spitting some fire.
I thought it was just I thought it was just because of my hot air. Or I thought it was just because of my flannel, but no, I think it really is. Will BitBoy do some news on Gala Music? I'm thinking about buying a Gala Music node since Gala nodes have done very well. We have our own stuff going on with NFTs and music. We'll be putting out at some point.
And we've got a node in Gala. I think
Yeah.
what makes sense is maybe we could get the Meta Money guys on one of those Meta Money shows. Maybe you do something with the two of them, or some kind of show talking about Gala music and what's going on in the Gala metaverse, because we are doing a lot in there.
Yeah. Snoop. You still
Snoop.
love Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
I mean, that was very clear. Halftime show. Okay. Grayscale continues campaign to spur SEC into action on spot Bitcoin ETF. Is this legal? What they did here, I wonder.
What did they do?
Grayscale has launched a public campaign to
Oh.
encourage investors to add comments to their application with the SEC. The world's largest digital asset manager is seeking approval to convert its popular BTC fund into a spot-based ETF. The financial regulator is still procrastinating. Now, this could certainly be, where did the XRP story go?
I don't know.
Did we not put something about XRP in the last? Just so you know, TJ, it's supposed to say XRP versus SEC, second to last.
Oh, it just
and
we
then
did that.
and then the last,
Yeah.
The way we're doing it now, it just needs to say quick hit / Q&A.
It does on my controller. It just didn't.
Oh, weird. Okay, we'll fix it. We are going to cover the XRP story for sure.
Yeah.
Just want to, before we get too much into the Grayscale thing, do want to finish my comment on Terra Luna. The community is good. It just doesn't strike me as strong as some other ones out there, and it's outperforming everything. And I just don't see the sentiment that Santiment is showing. Maybe it's just because I'm not following the right people. But I will say this: when we were at what conference were we at when we went to that club at the end of the night? Was that the Bitcoin conference?
That doesn't really narrow it down necessarily.
We went to the one where
that was big. That was
that Bitcoin
in Miami? Yeah.
It was in Miami. It was something else that wasn't. It was the NFT conference. I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was an NFT conference we went to down there. Remember the name of it. So many people I talked to at that party were in Terra Luna. I was shocked how many people. So I don't know why I'm not seeing and connecting with it, but we love Terra Luna. They're great. Not saying anything bad about them. Hopefully they continue to moon, yada, yada, yada. So, okay. Grayscale has launched a public campaign to encourage investors to add comments. On February 22nd, CEO Michael Sonnenschein tweeted the news that the quasi-online petition had gone live. The campaign aims to garner enough support from U.S. institutional investors and finance professionals to make the SEC finally take notice and approve a spot-based crypto fund. As yet, the staunch regulator has only approved a handful of Bitcoin funds backed by the CME, not the physical asset itself. Sonnenschein explained there's a standard 240-day review process, which is in the middle, yada, yada, yada. Comments are mounting up. They got almost 200 responses. Do you think that this means any, I guess it's not illegal because they're just asking for comments.
Yeah.
But it seems like I don't think there's any relevance between how many comments they get and whether or not it's going to get approved. I think that's probably why they can do this.
I think they can do it. Basically, the number one reason it gets rejected a lot of the time, not the number one reason, but one of the reasons they like to cite is we're not sure if the users really want this, if this is good for the consumer. We're trying to protect the consumer.
Yeah.
This just makes their application look a lot stronger. They can say, look, we've got a bunch of consumers. They're asking us for this product. Why are you denying it? And it just makes their case stronger. I don't think it'll make a difference, though.
Do we want to support this?
Sure. Why not?
You think? I mean, we support Grayscale. We support Digital Currency Group. We support a spot ETF.
I mean,
I
I support the idea of a spot ETF. I think that would be good.
Okay.
Supporting digital.
Great for crypto. Great for price for sure.
Yeah, good for price.
But it's coming one way or the other, so it's not like
Right.
So you're saying do we want to comment on this right now on the show? Is that what we do? I mean, we called the SEC one time on the show.
Yeah.
Y'all remember when we called the SEC? That was that might be the funniest thing we ever did. Well, I don't know, the haircut conversation about.
There was a few. The Cupid was pretty fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's do it. Let's put it out there.
Here we go. So we got Tom Crown. I retweeted this. You can check out Tom Crown on Twitter. He said, by our powers combined, crashed their email server with replies. So basically, oh, it's an email. So you have to submit this by email. Start an email to rule comments at sec.gov. Ensure file. I can't copy any of this. We can't do this right now because I can't copy this. I have to type it all out. Explain why you want to spot Bitcoin ETF in the body of the email. Wow, that's how you do comments. How archaic.
Right.
They can't do a form on the application. Like what is this? 1941, 1971.
So the-
WTF happened in 1971.
That was the
Couldn't
last time the SEC was being innovative.
Yeah, I know. It's also the year of the first World Economic Forum.
Also, when we went off the
Meeting.
gold standard.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing! What a coincidence! Everything happened in 1971. Okay. Yeah. Gary reading the chat. You think Gary's in here? Old Dirty Gary. Y'all think Dirty Gary knows who I am? I don't know if he does or not. I hope he does. I hope he does. I like old Dirty Gary Gensler. You know, I mean, he's a typical dirty old man. You know, what can you say about him? He looks like Skeletor. SEC is required to review publicly post. Look, guys, can we just say, like, there's this idea out there, and I think Wendy's talked about it a lot, that if you call or make a complaint or do something to a government agency, that they're required to address it. Y'all know that doesn't happen, right? Like, we can do it all we want. Like, y'all know. Now, I don't know about these comments on these applications. Maybe they do. But in general, like, you have to know that unless there's a place for them publicly to address it and they're mandatory that they publicly address it, you know they're not reading and listening to these phone calls, right? And this stuff. Like, you know that's a big scam, right? You trust the government behind closed doors? Let's just be for real about it. But anyways, I mean, it's a great idea, but, you know, whatever. Well, we will do this today. Let's make a note, TJ. We'll do this. We'll do this email, and then maybe we'll screenshot the email and show it tomorrow. So,
Okay.
Yep. All right. Mexican senator to propose crypto law. We need Bitcoin as legal tender. Indira Kempis, a senator representing the Nuevo Leon state in Mexico, is working on a crypto bill based on El Salvador's Bitcoin law. Now, I feel like this one is not in Narcos. They don't talk about Nuevo Leon a lot. I don't know that state. I know some of them for sure. Sinaloa, right? I know that one. Amid El Salvador reporting on cases of the positive impact of the country's Bitcoin adoption, government official in Mexico has once again urged that country should follow El Salvador's example on Bitcoin. Indira Kempis, a senator representing Nuevo Leon state, is confident the Bitcoin should be legal tender in Mexico because its adoption could potentially drive global financial inclusion. Senator is now developing a crypto bill based on their El Salvador's law. She expects to introduce the bill to the Mexican Congress this year. It's clear to me that financial exclusion is one of the public problems that few of us have addressed with feasible alternatives. And this type of technology is allowing us to generate an alternative so that millions of people can be included in the financial system. Senator went on to say the Bitcoin adoption is a historic opportunity for countries around the world to address issues like inequality and achieve financial inclusion. So there she is, Indira Kempis. Senator also suggested the president of El Salvador could have started a Bitcoin revolution. Very interesting. Making Bitcoin legal tender means putting a level playing field. People are starting to wake up. You know, some of these people are for sure starting to wake up. Monterrey is in Nuevo Leon. Okay. Call Tweety Bird. Can you call Janet Yellen? That'd be nice if we could do that. Wasn't like the richest man in Mexico saying something too? You were saying that?
Richest or third richest?
I think it's the second. I think it's
one of their billionaires, basically.
Ricardo something. Second richest man.
Pretty much echoing what we did during the May crash, saying do not sell your Bitcoin. That was basically the sentiment. That it's the best, hardest asset to accumulate long term. That's what he's doing. Don't get shaken out by this recent dip.
Was it Ricardo B. Salinas?
Sounds right.
He's the pro Bitcoin guy. I bet he said something yesterday. Let's see. Look on.
It might have been Monday.
Was it? No, he hasn't been in the news in a while here. So, yeah. See if you can find it. That'd be nice to follow up on that story with.
Yeah, I got it.
Who is it?
It's Ricardo Salinas.
So it is him.
Yeah. Third richest billionaire says buy Bitcoin, forget about selling, you'll thank me later. Just Google Mexico's third richest on Bitcoin. It comes right up.
Okay.
It's bitcoin.com.
Mexico's third richest.
Yeah, on Bitcoin.
Oh, on Bitcoin.com.
No, just type Mexico's third richest on Bitcoin into Google, and it comes right up. First link.
There it is. Yeah, how about that? It's so weird how some of these stories come up and some don't on the news. Mexico's third richest billionaire says buy Bitcoin. I knew it would be Ricardo Salinas. He advises to buy Bitcoin, keep buying while the price is still low, and hold the crypto without thinking of selling. Trust me, you're going to thank me later. He's the founder of Grupo Salinas. He says you have to buy Bitcoin, keep buying when the price is low, then just hold your Bitcoin. Forget about selling. Trust me, you're going to thank me later. So third richest billionaire in Mexico telling you to buy Bitcoin. SEC will lose lawsuit against Ripple. Former SEC official predicts. Pretty interesting. Is it the former SEC official that is the attorney for Ripple apps? No, their attorney worked for Ripple.
Yeah.
Or two of their main people in the case working for Ripple are from the SEC. So you can't. It's so crazy.
Well, and yeah, the whole thing is ridiculous. So
Nuts.
corrupt.
Absolutely. In December of 2020, we know the SEC filed its lawsuit. There we go. Filed its lawsuit against Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, and Chris Larson. According to the SEC, Ripple traded $1.3 billion in their crypto as a security without notifying the commission. Ripple and other parties have now rebutted the watchdog's judgment with claims of bias. In the years since the SEC sued Ripple, the financial community has been divided over legitimacy of the regulators' claims. And don't forget, if you're in the XRP army, throw the X up. Always got to throw the X up in the chat. If you're in the XRP army, make sure to hit the like button as well. It helps us to get more views on the channel and on crypto and tell people about XRP. In any case, the most recent developments suggest that Ripple is on the winning side for now, as it won a number of significant motions. Could be crucial to its fair motion defense. Specifically, the court ruled last week in favor of Ripple, unsealing two important documents that the company argues will offer some kind of assurance on how the agency categorized XRP when it initially entered circulation in 2012. Now, during a recent podcast with Thinking Crypto's Tony Edward, Joseph Hall, former SEC managing executive for policy, discussed the status of the case, how it's progressed so far, and what to expect moving forward. Not sure what the SEC intends to prove in the XRP action either, Hall said, adding he remains baffled as to why the SEC brought the case in the first place. He's the former managing executive for policy for the SEC. He said that the Ripple network has been operational for years prior to the filing of the lawsuit against them at the last minute. According to Hall, the SEC has a lot riding on this lawsuit, and their entire regulatory effort may be effectively shut down if they fumble on the merits. Ripple has a strong defense on the grounds that the SEC failed to give fair notice of its investigation, according to Hall. God, look at all these XRP people. My gosh.
Also, somebody in the chat said Terra was ripping right now. It's done about
right
5% in the last hour.
Oh, wow. How about that? Terra going to give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Individual and corporations are required to be notified if they are being scrutinized by the regulator. Did we ever add that to our portfolio, by the way? Didn't we add like 100K or something?
We've got some, not as much as I'd like.
We did finally take a position in Terra at some point.
Yeah.
XRP community has expressed its dismay and concern since the beginning of the lawsuit, and Hall's view. Same is pretty compelling and might matter to a judge, but not necessarily act as a trump card. It's a cord. Trump cord. Not like J-Chains. According to Hall, the lawsuit against Ripple may not end up in the manner anticipated by the SEC.
Yeah.
Judge in a lawsuit may only ask one question. If you're aware that XRP is a concern and have knowledge of it since 2012, why now? Why now? Marcel says, I consider this one. I agree 100%. SEC will go after everybody else, so have fun with that. I certainly think that is going to happen. I don't think that we get clarity out of this. I think there's going to end up being a lot of sealed documents, redacted documents here. Going to be hard to keep that going. So, all right, let's go ahead and move. Well, I got a couple quick headlines to read here.
Yeah, give us some quickies, and if you guys have any questions while he's reading those off, drop them in the chat, and I'll grab them.
Ripple responds to SEC's latest attempt to strike companies' key defense, so we know what's going on here. Ripple has responded. Basically, what they were, Library, another company that has been under attack by the SEC, is involved in this. In a recent letter to Annalisa Torres, the lawyers argue that the SEC shouldn't be allowed to bolster its case against the company. Fair notice defense by filling the gap with out-of-circuit cases. Basically, what they're trying to do is they're trying to use this Library case to bolster the case against the SEC. Library rejected a similar defense at the pleading stage, even though that case, like Ripple's, did not involve an ICO and only contained allegations of unregistered offers and securities. So Library joined Ripple in trying to rally the industry against the SEC. Library is one that has just been screwed. I mean, it's unbelievable they went after Library. So my honest opinion on why they went after Library, YouTube competitor. And it actually works. I don't know if I believe we still post to Library, I believe.
Yeah.
We have it automated, so all of our content goes over there, decentralized. So OpenSea's user activity. OpenSea, it's open season. Y'all know that. Funny. Now, I would say this. I mean, OpenSea user activity tumbles by almost 20% after I started calling them out as well. So, figure that. Certainly a hack helped. But, man, they've lost 20% of their user activity since we started going after them. The timing is impeccable. I just love it. I hate OpenSea. They're the worst company in crypto. Certainly one of the worst companies in crypto. There's some other bad ones too. But their user activity tumbles by almost 20% after the $3 billion heist. Their 7-day trading volume. How many days ago was it when we went after them? 7 days ago.
Yeah.
Their 7-day volume has plunged 37%. Hey, stop biting the hand that feeds you, people. Maybe you'll do a lot better. Historic Brazilian bill regulating crypto heads to Senate vote. So they got some stuff going on there in Brazil. Who really created, got a TikTok short coming out about that this afternoon at 3. Who really created the Coinbase Super Bowl ads? My Uncle Brian was called out on Twitter. This story is wild. He explained how Coinbase came up with the idea for their QR code commercial. And then at the end of the thread, someone says, actually, my agency came in and presented that meeting that idea to Coinbase, and you guys took it. And then a guy that works for Coinbase said, basically, imagine being this guy today. He basically says under her tweet, well, actually, we usually work so seamlessly with our agencies that, Brian didn't even understand that we didn't come up with it. They presented it to Brian Armstrong like they came up with it internally. So this is, look, I want to, Brian Armstrong's under a lot of heat for this. But look, sometimes and I know this, we've had people that worked here in the past that made, some mistakes on, some writing. There was something that someone had taken from somewhere else and didn't credit it. Wasn't my fault, but it was somebody that worked for me's fault. We got a lot of flack for it. I got personally flack for it. I didn't have anything to do with it. I didn't even know that it had occurred. So I understand this. Like, this was presented to Brian Armstrong like this was our idea, but they got it from an agency. So, he, with good intentions put this out like, hey, we had this idea to do this QR code, and I didn't, did it first, didn't know if it was the best idea, but, we worked through it, and we thought, hey, let's do this. It'll be really great. He's doing that honest. He really believes, I believe he really did believe that, because why would he tweet that? Why would he put himself out on the line like that? So definitely very, very sad what happened there to Uncle Brian. But, overall, ad agency is a dirty business. So none of that actually shocks me the way that happened. Crypto companies attempting to take top talent away from big tech to build Web3. Solana Protocol getting $3 million in seed funding with aim to bridge DeFi margin trading. So there we go. That'll certainly be interesting. All right, let's move on to Q&A.
Yeah, let's do a couple quick ones.
Okay.
Number one, Rob Father, are you keeping your ADA pool live during the bear market?
Rob Father back in the chat. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are going to keep our pool live.
Yep.
Right. Like, we're not doing anything with our pool there, so we're going to keep it running. No reason not to.
Yeah, we've got several nodes, ADA being one of them, and all of them we plan to keep active during the bear market and in next to the bull run, and kind of report on some of those findings. Like he keeps mentioning that investing philosophy, some of the long-term passive earning as we get into how to earn crypto, that's where some of this will play in.
Yep. Poor Muggle in the chat today.
What's that?
Poor Muggle in the chat today.
Hey.
Thank you. He said a really solid stream. We miss you, poor Muggle.
Nice.
No, you got a job.
Big SXE wants to know about your thoughts on Polkadot.
Thoughts on Polkadot? Polkadot's still very new with their parachains, everything that's working out. I like Polkadot. I think it's going to be around. I think it's going to be pretty significant, player in the game. No question about it. It is behind some of the other layer ones right now. we're actually looking at building something, and we're looking at making it interoperable with several large chains. Are we going to make it interoperable with Polkadot? Not yet. Like, we have to see, like, kind of like, look, we can make things interoperable with Cardano. It's already launched. We see how it's working. The ecosystem is building. It's got some congestion issues, which I've been taking some flack for my criticism of Cardano's congestion issues. I think it's fair criticism. I love Cardano. We're still running our pool, but you know, look, I can give you my honest opinion on things. I mean, I'm disappointed a little bit with, you know, the way that, you know, it's been operating. It's got, some people say it had twice as high volume as Ethereum with transactions. Maybe that's true, but wasn't supposed to have the problems.
But again,
So,
like I said yesterday, it did for 24 hours. Let's keep that in mind.
yeah. So, exactly. But, you know, we still love Cardano. We still think it's going to do, you know, really great. But we've gotten, like, we're going to make this thing interoperable with Cardano down the road for sure. But Polkadot, we got to see it roll out. We got to see it work. We got to see some stuff being built, the ecosystem blowing up, more than just 5 or 10 projects. So, you know, that's where we're at on it. We think it's big. I see Marjo Jahaj. Thoughts on Efinity? We love Efinity. For fair disclosure, we are, you know, invested in Efinity. Look, of course, you guys know we're invested in Cardano. You know we're invested in a lot of these projects. Efinity is a newer project by the people from Engine, so, you know, I feel like I need to tell you specifically, you know, we are invested in that one. But love Efinity. We think it's going to be really big. We're looking at, you know, how we can use it for some different things as well. So, oh, yeah, Damon says the Richard Hart with Peter Schiff debate today.
Yep, that should be fascinating. Two very, very interesting debaters there.
Yeah, let's make sure we cover that tomorrow. That'll be interesting.
Also, just another quick mention since we didn't hit it today. I don't know if you saw the stuff on SafeMoon. They're bringing criminal action against some of the promoters of SafeMoon. I'm pretty sure Jake Paul being one of them.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I have seen that story.
Yeah, and so obviously we came out against SafeMoon real big and kind of brought it down in some ways. So just kind of bring that to full conclusion.
I mean, I think if you trace back to our really big anti-SafeMoon video that we made, that was pretty much the top, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It never recovered after that.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying we definitely did that, but no. I'm just saying it, you know, look, it had exploits, all kinds of problems. SafeMoon, not the best. I know, you know, Jeb's channel made a video about it. People were criticizing that they were just going after version 1 and not the V2 and all this stuff. But look, SafeMoon's garbage. It's trash. There's no question about it.
Right.
So we'll see what happens there. You know, price will never recover with SafeMoon. Look, you had your heyday. You had your chance. It was the biggest gainer of 2021 if you looked at the stats. You get all the people that were in the beginning made all the money, though. So, you know, a lot of people came in and, you know, so. All right. That's all we got for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching the show. Be blessed. Good boy out.